Hey guys, do you have problem to understand trigonometry, especially on sine, cosine, and tangent, and how you actually just look at the diagram and make it into a fraction for sine, cosine, and tangent? Remember, what you want to do at the first step is always to mark the angle. So here, for tangent x. So we mark the angle x first. Mark it like that. And you just have to remember, tangent are always the two lines that is connected to the right angle. So here in this case is the letter U and letter R. But how do I know which one is the denominator and which one is the numerator? So just to remember, when it is in the case of tangent, the numerator is always the opposite line of the angle you marked. So the numerator is R. And hence the denominator would be U in this case. So let's just use another example so you get yourself familiar with the concept of tangent. Again, here in question 4, it is saying tangent O. Do you remember what is the first step that you have to do? Is to mark the angle O. After you mark it, you just have to find the two lines that you need to be focusing on. For tangent, you're always looking at the angle, the right angle, and the two lines that is connected to it. What I said earlier is that the numerator is always the line that is completely opposite to the marked angle. So that is the Z. And hence the denominator would be T. That's a very easy concept to understand tangent. Another way for you to understand sine, cosine, and tangent properly is to understand cosine. Okay, I want you to first think about cosine as a monster, especially with the C. The C letter actually give me a sign of they want to eat you. So it is actually trying to eat the angle. So where's the angle? Angle is the E here in this case under question 2. When you want to eat something, you have to make sure the line is as close as possible to what you want to eat, right? If you want to eat the angle E, there's only two lines that can do that. So that is number 33 and 65. But how do I know which one is the denominator and which one is the numerator? Remember, always, the diagonal line is the denominator. So that's 65. And hence, the numerator will be 33. Let's do another example to make sure that you understand the concept. Here in cosine E, remember you want to eat the angle E. So the two lines that you're focusing on is obviously 4 and 5. What I said earlier is the denominator is always the diagonal line. So that's 5. And hence the numerator will be 4. That's going fine with you all, right? So out of sine, cosine, tangent, we have already covered 2 segments. Let's just go to the last segment, which is sine. Okay, so if you are looking at the angle V, again, we mark it first. Same as cosine, what we want to do is to make sure the denominator is a diagonal line. So that's C in this case. And make sure you remember sine and cosine is completely opposite to each other. So you know that C and D will form cosine together. So what you need to find is the E. And similarly, if we want to try another question, such as question 6, what we want to do first is to mark the angle S. and the diagonal line is 73. And because you know 55 actually will eat the angle alongside with 73 for angle S, so what you want to do is to include 48 as the numerator. Okay, I hope this session helped you to understand more on sine, cosine, and tangent. And just one reminder for all of you. Sometimes during the test it's quite tricky because the teacher will tends to include some of the fraction that is not simplified completely. So what you need to do is to make sure after you have the fraction, you ensure that this is the most simplified version before you submit the answer. So that's it for this session. If you have further questions, please leave your comment and remember to subscribe. Thank you.